Navigating the world of requirements engineering. Understanding features, personas, scenarios, user stories, and feature creep part 1. In software engineering, features, scenarios, and user stories are all part of requirements engineering. It is the process of finding and describing the requirements for a software system. This means figuring out the needs of the software's users, stakeholders, and other systems that will interact with it, as well as the project's constraints and assumptions. The goal of requirements engineering is to ensure that the software system is built to the right level of quality and meets the needs of its users and stakeholders. Let's see what are features. A software product feature is a piece of functionality that allows users to accomplish a certain task or achieve a certain goal. The first stage of product development is to identify the list of product features, in which you identify each feature and give a brief description of its functionality. What are personas? Personas are imagined users, where you create a character portrait of a type of user that you think might use your product. A persona description should paint a picture of a typical product user. It should describe their educational background, technology experience, and why they might want to use your product. You can see a persona example in this video. Let us now see what are scenarios. A scenario is a narrative that describes a situation where a user is accessing product features to do something that they want to do. Scenarios should always be written from the user's perspective and based on identified personas or actual users. Let's understand scenario description through an example. Emma is instructing a group of 14-year-olds on the First World War's historical background. The S3 class is currently in northern France, touring the First World War battlefields. She plans to create a battlefields group for the students who will be going on the trip, so that they can discuss what they learn and see, as well as share photos and reflections. You can see another scenario description in this video. What are user stories? User stories are finer-grained narratives that set out, in a structured way, something that a user wants from a software system. User stories may be used as a way of extending and adding detail to a scenario or as part of the description of system features. Let's see an example for a user story. As a student, I want to be able to turn in assignments electronically so I can avoid handing them in physically. Event house scenarios and user stories do convey a user interaction. There are differences between them. Scenarios and user stories are tools that help identify and describe features. The level of specificity provided by user stories varies greatly from that of scenarios. User stories provide a brief, concise statement of what a user wants the system to do, and are typically more feature or functionality specific. On the other hand, scenarios describe in greater detail how a user will engage with the system to achieve a particular objective. So basically, we need to know which features are we going to work upon for our product. Personas, user stories, and scenarios ultimately lead us to features.